14 Republican state attorneys general say they are reviewing legal options to fight his cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline. Texas Land Commissioner George P. Bush, he joins us now. It was interesting in the letter, the AG said that canceling Keystone was a symbolic act of virtue signaling to special interests. But there is an economic cost. Let's put this up here on the board. For Texas oil and gas jobs, nearly 60,000 jobs lost in 2020 due to the pandemic, 100,000 Texans jobs as of December 2020, and 120,000 project jobs lost in 2022 due to a ban on leases. What is the economic cost in your mind to this activity?
Well, thank you for having us, Dana, to talk about this important industry for the state. If we were our own economy, we'd be the 9th largest in the world, and oil and gas comprises 30% of that economy. So for us, an industry that employs over 400,000 Texans and on average pays over $120,000, this is a lifeblood of our economy. So we're going to leverage every legal remedy available to the state in finding standing to seek remedy in our federal court system, just as we did during the Obama administration, as Texas has successfully fought back federal overreach over the generations.
It's such a big story in Texas, really across the country. I didn't realize, but Texas represents 44% of U.S. crude production. That's a sizable amount. In your court battle, do you think you can win this case?
Absolutely. We've been successful under the Obama days. When I was first elected, we fought back a ban on hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling within city limits in Texas. We've also successfully delisted species on the Endangered Species Act. The left uses a sue and settle tactic to attempt to list species and then obtains plaintiffs' attorneys' fees off of those settlements. And so with this flurry of executive order activity, you're right, it sends a chilling effect not only to the industry, but hardworking individuals throughout our country that rely upon these jobs to put food on the table. And it's a meaningful issue for them and is sometimes lost by coastal elites.
I have a question. Does this break down at all in Texas along party lines, or is there bipartisan agreement on energy jobs in Texas?
There's actually 4 Democrats within our congressional delegation, and I commend them for standing up to the lobby, the environmentalist lobby on this issue by asking for President Biden to stand up to this. Also, union leadership, not only in our state, but throughout the country, including Trumka, have said publicly that they are against this order as well in terms of the Keystone pipeline order. So this is a bipartisan issue. These are meaningful jobs that people can build careers off of and save money for their kids' tuition. So the way that this has been done without transparency, without input from the legislatures and our state governments or in the federal Congress, it's not the way to do business.
You have 4 Democrats, which is more than 0. So maybe there's progress here. You mentioned Richard Trumka. He talked about the Keystone Pipeline, not having these green jobs available, losing 1,000 jobs immediately, 10,000 down the road. Now you got Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. He introduced the bill on Keystone 9 years ago. He's writing to Joe Biden to get him to change his mind. Do you think there can be a reversal of fortune on this? Or do you feel as if the Texas economy is really at a pivot point here now?
Well, I'm trying to give the president the benefit of the doubt. He has spoken about unity. And so, let's actually have a meeting. He refused to meet with oil and gas executives who have reached out to talk about transition. And the industry has been more than open to talk about that transition in a transparent manner, in a way that doesn't kill jobs and switch off a lifeblood of an economy such as in our state in Texas and throughout the country. So until there's a meaningful dialogue between the president and industry and or members of Congress who are increasingly coming to our side on this issue, I'm afraid that we're going to have to be in the courts to find redress.
Well, maybe they'll finally meet you in the courts, since they won't meet with you otherwise. George P. Bush down there in Texas, thank you so much.
Nice to see you. Thanks for being here.